weapons lesson where we do reloading. Right now, going off the end of the last video, we can shoot, we can do damage, shows up there, and that's it. We're gonna make it so that when we run out of ammo, it automatically reloads the weapon, or when we press R. So just like with the last video, I'm gonna start by getting everything we need. For this one, all we need is reloading animation. So I just searched reloading in Mixamo, and looks like he's reloading a rifle here. You know, close enough. I'm gonna download it. This one, I don't know why I would need to check in place, but I'm gonna check it. He's not actually moving forward or anything, but make sure to check import only animations. That means none of these other settings really matter. Select my skeleton. I'm gonna rename this one AS underscore reloading. And I'm also gonna duplicate it and name it AS launcher reloading. So we're gonna have a different reloading animation for the launcher and the pistol. If you make animations, you can make your own pistol animation. So the first thing we're gonna do is create a new blueprint class, and actually it's gonna be derived from BP weapon base. And it's gonna be, so we can right click on BP weapon base, create child blueprint class, call it BP underscore ranged weapon. Because reloading is something we only want to do, of course. I'm gonna open that up. Go to the class settings, and neat little thing you can do is go to this parent class drop down and change it. Or actually, we don't want to do this in the ranged weapon. We want to do this in our actual grenade launcher, in our actual gun. So in the class settings of the grenade launcher, change the parent class from BP weapon base to BP ranged weapon. And the same for the gun. This little class settings button on the top tool. All right, so now it's going to get everything from the weapon base and everything from ranged weapon class. So now let's go to the ranged weapon that we just made and add 3 variables that we want to apply to all of our ranged weapons. So ammo in inventory. This is going to be of type integer. All of them will be. Get another one. Call it ammo in clip. And then clip capacity. So in BP ranged weapon, with all of those variables created, we're going to go to the functions tab above the variables tab, click the override dropdown, and override the can attack method that we just made in the last video. Make some space here. Here we want to make it so that we can only attack if our ammo and clip is above 0. So let's drag the ammo and clip variable, control drop it in, pull out from here and create a greater than node. So just type in that symbol. By default, it's greater than 0. Then let's pull out and create an and boolean. Or I guess you actually want this result node to go to the top one, and then this output pin go into the bottom one, and then connect that to the result pin of the return node. So if we can attack and our ammo is greater than 0, then our result will be true. Now we want to make a custom event in the event graph. Remember, you don't want to do anything else. Anything that's not related to this can attack function, you don't want to put inside of this graph here. So let's click back to the event graph, and that applies to all functions. So in the event graph, add custom event, name it decrease ammo in clip. We're just going to do the functionality for that, just so we can call this whenever we shoot or whatever. The first thing we want to do is make sure that our ammo and clip is above 0 again, so we can control drop that, because we don't want to take away and go into the negatives. So pull out from ammo and clip, create another greater than 0 node, then press B and click to create a branch node. Connect that to the red custom event. We can connect the booleans as well. So if this is true, then we want to decrease our ammo. So we can look for the decrement int because this is an integer. And then just connect, or I guess we can drag in another ammo and clip and connect that to the bottom input pin. So this you can copy and paste it, but it's also pretty easy to just make. So with that made, we only want to actually call that when the bullet is spawned or the grenade is spawned or whatever. So let's override commit attack atom notify. That will confirm we get to that point in the animation. Drag it up there and call increase ammo and clip. All right, now let's go to our BP gun and make sure that it's calling that parent because we were overriding the commit attack atom notify. But we also want to call what we just made here. So make sure that you have this parent call function there. If you don't have that, then you can right click on this red node and add call to parent function and connect it like that, which is a handy thing to know how to do. So make sure the grenade launcher also has that. And then now we want to, what's the next step? We want to update our UI. So let's make an update UI event in BP weapon base because that should apply to everything. So I'm gonna add custom events, call it update UI. For now, we can leave it empty. And let's go to our ranged weapon. Override the update UI event that we just made. You have to compile to see that in the override options. So once you made the update UI in the BP weapon base, go to BP ranged weapons, go to the functions panel, click the override dropdown, then click update UI. If you don't see it, make sure you compile BP weapon base. From here, we're just going to call a print string. Save time. We could just, I have it in the documents. Plug that in like that. Connect it. And this is going to just take the values of our ammo and clip and our ammo in inventory. Print that on the screen. We're going to have to call this update UI. So we're going to do that at the end of our decrease ammo and clip function. That makes sense. So let's scroll back up to decrease ammo and clip. Bottom of that snippet, update UI. Now that we have a way of tracking the ammo, we need to actually implement the reloading. So we're going to need a way to check if we can reload, do the reload functionality, and then play the reload animation. So I open BP weapon base. In BP weapon base, I'm going to go to the functions panel, click the plus button, make a function called can reload, and then drag out and create a return node, add return node, and we're going to want to return a bool, yes or no. So I'm going to go to the output panel, click plus, just rename that new parameter to results, keep it as a bool, and compile. Then I'm going to go back to the event graph. And then because we're going to be doing a whole bunch of different things in the animation, like dropping clips, like we're making a really awesome reload animation. I'm not going to lie. So definitely want to copy and paste all this stuff. So down in the docs in this section, we have all of these animation notifies. I'll go over it really quickly. It's just, let's just put it in here. Nothing, okay. First, we just have a reload custom event. That's checking if we can reload. It's calling that function. If so, then we play the reload animation. This node, I'm pretty sure you're just going to have to delete it and remake it, and it's all good. Then we have another custom event, play reload animation. Let's right click on this reload animation because you'll see you'll get an error if you try to compile it. So right click and create variable reload animation, which is just a variable of type animation montage, which we didn't make that montage yet. So I'll just leave the default blank for now, and then we'll come back, set that montage once we get it. And these are all the different notifies that we have. So just different points within the animation that we want to call different stuff. For example, making different static meshes visible, like the grenade or the clip or whatever. Once reload is complete, we probably want to change these weapon states, like this one idle. We want to set it to reloading. So make sure you change this first drop down to reloading. When you're starting the reload, you want to go to the reloading state, right? When you're done with the reload, you go back to the idle state. Now we are going to create these notifies, which is the most tedious part of this video, but it's not that bad. Go to my animations folder. First, I'm going to start with the regular reloading animation, so AS_reloading, the one for the pistol. Right click it, create anim montage, name it ASM_reloading. Open it, and just like we created notifies before, the first one I think is just going to be start. You can just look at the documentation. Reload start. Probably good to use the same names just for clarity. So right click in the one track, add notify, new notify, reload start. Drag that to the very beginning. Next one is clip drop. So pan through the animation and kind of see, let me grab it. Kind of see where he would drop the clip. So maybe like taking it out right there, right click, add notify, new notify, clip drop, and then new clip in hand. Oh my goodness, it does not want me to be able to grab it. Okay. Sure, right there. When he's taking a new clip out of his pocket, new notify, new clip in hand. We're just making the points where we want to make different meshes visible. Clip attached is when they attach the clip to the gun. And there should be one more. Reload complete at the end. So when he's done moving gun, and we can register the reload complete. Doesn't need to be all the way, just something. Awesome. Save that, and real quick, we'll do that for the launcher. It's going to be slightly different. AS launcher reloading, right click it, create, anim montage, ASM_launcher reloading. And we have to recreate them from scratch, not use the save one. So don't use the ones you made before. Go to new notify. Again, create one called reload start. Put that at the beginning. New grenade in hand. So that would be like right here. That'll be when we want the new grenade to spawn. Then it should be grenade attached. 20 right there. Attaches the grenade to the gun. Grenade launcher. Then reload complete. So right there should be a little bit earlier. We want to actually call all of those notifies by calling the custom events that we made for them. So I'm going to go to my animations folder, open my animation blueprint, ABP Paladin. And once again, it's a buttload of stuff. So in the docs, go to this part, and we're just going to copy these calls, scroll down a little bit, select all, and remember to place these in the event graph, not the anim graph, of course, of your animation blueprint. Let's see if that gives me any problem. No, that's good. And these are just the same way like we searched for an anim notify, found an anim notify for each of those notifies that we just made, getting a reference to our character so that we can get a reference to our character's weapon that he's holding, current active weapon. And then we're pulling off from that current active weapon and calling whatever of these that we just made, because we made these on BP weapon base a few minutes ago. So that's all we're doing from the animation. Right? We're basically connecting that to our animation. The next thing we want to do is make it so that we can initiate all of this with like a button. So let's go to our input folder, input actions. You can either duplicate one of these or you can just right click, input action. Take my camera, covering a little bit. IA_reload. Control S save. Go back to the input folder, IMC_default to open our mapping context that we're using. Go to the mappings bar, press the plus button, set the none to the IA reload, open it up, hit the none drop down next to the keyboard button, search for R, and then scroll down to just the keyboard R. And then we do all our input stuff on BP character base. So I'm going to go to my characters folder, BP character FPS, open character FPS in the event graph, go to the bottom, look for enhanced, find the IA reload, the one with the arrow next to it, pull out of here, and we want to check, let's pull out create an isValid node, choose the one next to the question mark. Really, it's the same thing that we're doing right here. So we want to check if we have the current active weapon. So I'm just going to copy paste from our shooting logic there, except this time we want to pull out from the current active weapon and call the reload function and make sure that is connected like so. Then let's compile and save that and go back to BP ranged weapon and create a can reload function, or rather override our can reload function. So go to the functions panel, click the override drop down, press, I'm going to delete that. Event reload. I want to override can reload, not reload. So that made this override can reload function. And here we can go ahead and delete this parent node, drag out this return node. You can copy and paste this from the docs if you want. First, we just want to check if the ammo in the inventory is greater than 0. We know how to do that. I'm just going to drag out and create the AND boolean. We're going to need 3 pins. So, add pin button. Then we want to check if the ammo and clip is less than the capacity. So we want to check because if we have max ammo, then we don't want to be able to reload. So drag out the ammo and clip, check if it is less than clip capacity. That's the max ammo that we can hold. Drag that into the second Boolean pin. And finally, we want to check if the weapon state is not in the reloading weapon state. So we made that enumeration for the different states we can be in. I guess we could just right click and search for that weapon state, get weapon state. Not equals, so put in a little exclamation point and drag that into the final. Oh, wait. We want to create a not equals enum. So before I made like the function, I'm going to click the one with the window next to it. That's how we can actually check. And then set the drop down to reloading, drag that into the third one, and drag this at the very top. And then also make sure that I forgot to connect this bool to the result node. So if you try to play the game right now, for me it's actually working right now. But yeah, see, sometimes it gets a little wonky and then it gives you these errors. I can't find the weapon. We'll fix that shortly. Right now, let's make a method in BP ranged weapon to move the ammo to the clip. It's another big one, so I recommend just finding it in the docs and pasting that in the event graph, not inside another function, in the event graph of the BP ranged weapon. Below that, I'm going to search for that notify, reload complete, right click it, add a call to parent function, call the method that we just made, then update the UI file. Let's do the grenade stuff. So right now we need to tell it where to spawn the grenade or the clip when we are, spawning it in our hand. So we want to do that on the left hand. So let's go to our characters folder, open the skeletal mesh for your character. So skm_paladin for me. Find your left hand, right click and add socket. I already had one. So you should have 2 extra sockets in your left hand. Name one of them grenade hand socket, no spaces, capitalization, exactly like that. And the other one clip hand socket. Those should be good by default. So then we should go to the grenade launcher. And now we want to override those notifies again. So to actually, one, spawn the grenade and then attach it to the point we want to attach it to. That's right here in this spawn new grenade section. Right here we override the new grenade in hand to notify. So I'm going to copy and paste that into the event graph of my BP grenade launcher. I think we have to create this new variable here. So grenade hand socket, right click, create variable of type name. Looks good, looks good. Compile that. Oh. And we need to make a new variable for grenade in hand. That's perfect. And then this next method is attach the new grenade to the launch point. Override the grenade attached notify event. So let's copy paste that one as well underneath. And that one should be good right away. And all this is doing is, like we mentioned, spotting the grenade on the point of the grenade hand socket on the left hand, and then attaching it to that socket. And then when this notify comes around in the animation, it's just switching it from being attached to the hand to the nose of the grenade launcher. Right now, before we forget, let's go to the BP gun class defaults and set that reload animation to ASM reloading. And do the same for the grenade launcher, class defaults, reload anim default to ASM launcher reloading. And then let's go back to the gun and create these static mesh components for the gun clip and the bullets so that our notifies have something different. Let's add a static mesh component. Call one SM clip. And I don't have a clip, so honestly, I'm just going to use the SM bullet static mesh and add another component, another static mesh, and call it SM bullet. SM_bullet. And change that static mesh to your bullet. So the order should be the static mesh for your gun, the clip as a child of that, and the bullet as a child of that. But with that done, I'm going to go back to my BP folder and the weapons folder and create a new print class type actor and name it BP_gun clip draw. Open it, add a static mesh, SM clip. Again, I don't have a clip, so I'm just going to make it a bullet. Check the simulate physics checkbox. Remember to do that. Go to the collision settings. Change the collision presets to custom. And click this top ignore box so that they all go to ignore. File, save that. Go back to L level 1. In the same folder, create another actor blueprint. Name it BP_gun clip full. Open it up. Add static mesh. SM_clip full. And this time I want to set the static mesh, I guess the same, to a bullet. This time set the collision to from block all dynamic to no collision. And then also in the gun clip pull, there should be another static mesh. I'm just going to duplicate this one and call it SM bullets. For the bullets that we're putting inside the clip, and they should be on the same level, like that. File and save that. Back on the gun clip drop, I think I forgot to do something. Oh yeah, and the gun clip drop in the event graph from the event flag. Press D to create a delay node. Connect it up. After about 1 or 2 seconds, we want to destroy the actor. After we get rid of it, we want it to disappear. That's just a destroy actor node. I noticed this sometimes fixes the error issues, but also for scalability, you'd want the AI to be able to attack and reload, not just the character. Right now we have like attacking and reloading only on the character. If I go to the documentation on BP character base, what our NPCs will also be deriving from, you can paste these 2 custom events, which is basically just what we already have on character FPS, but instead we're putting it on the parent object, making sure that is good. Sorry, weapon base, all that. So then on character FPS, now we can just make it look like this. We can just call we have on the character base. So right now it's calling it from weapon base. So you want to delete that and call attack. Character base, same for this one. Delete it, call reload from character. I managed to fix it, I think, but just to wrap up this lesson, go to BP ranged weapon, and we want to auto reload if the clip is empty. So from the documentation, at the bottom, auto reload is if clip is empty. You can copy and paste that into the BP ranged weapon, just checking if our ammo is 0 or less, and that's calling the reload function that we just made. And then we want to call that when we shoot the bullet out, only at that point. So make sure you add this node at the end of your event commit attack anim notify on the BP ranged weapon. Right after the decrease ammo and clip, call auto reload if clip is empty. Right there. And then on BP character FPS, looks like this now. I notice sometimes you have to delete this enhance input action and recall it. Enhanced AI shoot. See, right now it's functioning exactly as it should. You can see the ammo going down, and when I hit 0, it automatically reloads. In collision, go to your BP gun and remember to set the collision of the clip and the bullet to no collision. So both of those things. Weird. So I'll go over it real quick just in case anybody had the same issues. In my BP ranged weapon, when I copied and pasted this, it kind of looked like this. But I noticed at the top I missed these 2 things were not connected. So in BP ranged weapon and the move ammo to fill clip. Stuff like that happens all the time. So I thought it'd be worth pointing out. To make it, if you ever have like these white execution pins at the top level, they always have to be connected. So if something's not working, double checking all of the nodes you added and making sure the white pins are connected is a good place to start. So I also went to the grenade launcher, the class defaults, and made sure I set the name of the grenade hand socket to exactly grenade hand socket. And then something else that goes wrong a lot of the time is when you copy paste code and you have stuff like a static mesh that you're getting as a reference, like this, for example. If you named your static mesh something different, it's going to get confused. So sometimes you just have to check your static mesh references, like this one, for example, delete it, and then drag in your actual static mesh. Mine has the same name, but that, could cause problems. And then in the weapon class, in the character base, set to grenade launcher, check to see if it works, shoot out, because it only has 1 grenade in the clip, it automatically reloads. If I use 3 of them, then I can't reload it anymore. It's not going to reload because there's 0 ammo in my inventory. So the grenade is working perfectly. Gun, if I shoot a couple of times, then press R, it reloads. It takes 2 out of the ammo in my inventory because it's checking how much I need. If I were to shoot 5 times, because 5 is the max clip size, it automatically reloads. And it takes, because I only had 3 left in my inventory, it only fits 3 in my available bullets. But I have nothing, it doesn't reload. So it's working perfectly. That's a really good reload system. So next we are going to add a health bar to the NPC and make an inventory, I think, to switch between weapons and see how much ammo is in each weapon. But that's it for now. Peace.